Have you ever felt like a single negative comment could shatter your entire world? Imagine a shield so powerful that even the harshest words bounce off, leaving you unscathed and stronger than ever. This isn't just a fantasy, it's the reality of emotional resilience, and it's within your grasp. In a world where criticism seems to lurk around every corner, the ability to withstand and grow from negative feedback has become more crucial than ever. Studies show that individuals with high emotional resilience are 60% more likely to overcome setbacks and achieve their goals compared to those without this vital skill. Picture this: you've just delivered a presentation you've been working on for months. As you step off the stage, feeling a mix of relief and pride, a colleague approaches with a sneer and says, "Well, that was a complete waste of time." In that moment, you have two choices: let those words crush your spirit or use them as fuel to soar even higher. The path you choose depends entirely on your level of emotional resilience. It's the invisible armor that protects your self-esteem, motivation, and drive from the arrows of negativity that life inevitably shoots your way. In the next few minutes, we're going to embark on a transformative journey together. We'll explore the devastating impact of destructive criticism, uncover the myths surrounding emotional strength, and most importantly, equip you with powerful strategies to build your own impenetrable shield of resilience. By the end of this video, you'll have the tools to not only deflect negativity but to harness it as a catalyst for personal growth and success. Are you ready to revolutionize the way you handle criticism and unlock your full potential? Let's dive in and discover the secrets to unshakable emotional resilience. In today's hyper-connected world, we're more exposed to criticism than ever before. Social media, workplace dynamics, and even our personal relationships have become breeding grounds for negative feedback, both constructive and destructive. The problem lies not in the existence of criticism itself, but in our often inadequate ability to process and respond to it healthily. Many of us have been conditioned from a young age to seek approval and avoid disapproval at all costs, leaving us ill-equipped to handle the inevitable critiques that come our way. This heightened sensitivity to negative feedback can lead to a cascade of emotional and psychological issues, from chronic stress and anxiety to decreased self-esteem and imposter syndrome. The root causes of this vulnerability to criticism are multifaceted. Our educational systems often prioritize perfection over progress, instilling a fear of failure that can persist well into adulthood. Social media's curated highlight reels create unrealistic standards of success, making any perceived shortcoming feel magnified. Additionally, many workplace cultures still operate on outdated models of management that use criticism as a primary motivator, rather than fostering environments of constructive feedback and growth. These factors combine to create a perfect storm where even well-intentioned critique can feel like a personal attack, triggering our fight-or-flight response and hampering our ability to learn and improve. To truly understand the gravity of this issue, let's look at some real-life scenarios. Take Sarah, a talented graphic designer who received harsh feedback on a project she poured her heart into. Instead of using the criticism to refine her work, she spiraled into self-doubt, questioning her career choice and withdrawing from future opportunities. Or consider Mike, a promising junior executive whose fear of criticism led him to play it safe, never voicing innovative ideas that could have propelled his company forward. These stories are not unique, they represent countless individuals whose potential remains untapped due to an inability to navigate the choppy waters of criticism. The prevalence of this problem underscores the urgent need for a solution that empowers individuals to face critique head-on, without compromising their self-worth or ambition. The immediate consequences of being overly susceptible to criticism can be devastating. In the short term, individuals may experience a sharp decline in self-confidence, leading to decreased productivity and a reluctance to take on new challenges. This can manifest as procrastination, avoidance of feedback, and a general sense of paralysis when faced with tasks that carry any risk of critique. Emotionally, the impact is equally severe. Many report feelings of shame, inadequacy, and a persistent inner dialogue of self-doubt. These negative emotions don't just affect our professional lives, they seep into our personal relationships, creating distance and conflict as we project our insecurities onto those around us. If left unchecked, the long-term effects of this vulnerability to criticism can be even more profound. Chronic exposure to negative feedback without the proper emotional tools to process it can lead to serious mental health issues such as depression and anxiety disorders. Career-wise, the consequences are equally dire. Individuals who cannot effectively handle criticism often find themselves stuck in unfulfilling roles, passed over for promotions, or unable to pursue their true passions due to fear of judgment. The cumulative effect is a life lived in the shadows of one's true potential, marked by regret and what-ifs rather than growth and achievement. To illustrate the real-world impact, consider the story of James, a brilliant software engineer whose fear of criticism led him to abandon a groundbreaking project that could have revolutionized his industry. Or think about Lisa, whose dream of becoming a writer was put on indefinite hold after a single negative review of her first short story. These personal anecdotes highlight the tremendous cost of inaction not just to the individuals themselves, but to society as a whole, which loses out on the innovations, art, and contributions these people could have made. The emotional toll is equally staggering, with many reporting a pervasive sense of unfulfillment and a nagging feeling that they're not living up to their true potential. It's clear that the ability to handle criticism isn't just a nice-to-have skill, it's essential for personal fulfillment, professional success, and overall well-being. When faced with the challenge of handling criticism, many turn to well-intentioned but ultimately ineffective strategies. One common approach is the thick-skin method, where individuals attempt to simply ignore or brush off negative feedback. While this may provide temporary relief, it often leads to a disconnect between one's self-perception and reality, hindering genuine growth and self-improvement. Another popular tactic is the perfectionism approach, where people strive to eliminate any possibility of criticism by aiming for flawless performance. This not only creates unsustainable levels of stress, but also stifles creativity and risk-taking, essential components of personal and professional development. These solutions frequently fail because they address the symptom rather than the root cause. The thick-skin method, for instance, doesn't actually build resilience, it merely creates a facade of indifference that can crack under sustained pressure. Similarly, perfectionism is an impossible standard that sets individuals up for constant disappointment and burnout. Both approaches share a fundamental flaw. They view criticism as something to be avoided or deflected rather than as a potential source of valuable insight and growth. This mindset perpetuates a cycle of fear and avoidance, preventing individuals from developing the emotional tools necessary to truly thrive in the face of feedback. There are also several misconceptions about handling criticism that can lead people astray. One common myth is that confident people don't feel hurt by negative feedback. In reality, even the most self-assured individuals can be affected by criticism. The difference lies in how they process and respond to it. Another misconception is that all criticism is valid and should be taken to heart. This black and white thinking can lead to an unhealthy obsession with pleasing others at the expense of one's own values and vision. By debunking these myths and understanding why common solutions fall short, we can begin to pave the way for a more effective, nuanced approach to building emotional resilience in the face of criticism. But what if there was a way to transform criticism from a source of pain into a catalyst for growth? Imagine being able to face even the harshest feedback with confidence, extracting valuable insights while maintaining your sense of self-worth. This isn't just a pipe dream, it's a skill that can be developed and honed over time. The key lies in reframing our relationship with criticism, seeing it not as a judgment of our value as individuals, but as information that can help us evolve and improve. As the renowned psychologist Carol Dweck puts it, in a growth mindset, challenges are exciting rather than threatening. So rather than thinking, "Oh, I'm going to reveal my weaknesses," you say, "Wow, here's a chance to grow." This shift in perspective is the foundation of true emotional resilience. It's about building an internal locus of control, where our sense of self is anchored in our own values and aspirations rather than the opinions of others. This doesn't mean becoming impervious to feedback, quite the opposite. It means developing the ability to engage with criticism constructively, filtering out what's useful and discarding what isn't. It's about cultivating a sense of curiosity about ourselves and our potential for growth, rather than fearing the judgment of others. This approach allows us to maintain our emotional equilibrium in the face of negative feedback while still remaining open to genuine opportunities for improvement. To illustrate the power of this mindset shift, consider the story of Elon Musk. In the early days of SpaceX, the company faced harsh criticism and skepticism from the aerospace industry. Rather than being deterred, Musk used this feedback to fuel his determination and refine his approach. He famously said, "I don't ever give up. I'd have to be dead or completely incapacitated." This resilience in the face of criticism played a crucial role in SpaceX's eventual success. While not everyone will face challenges on the scale of revolutionizing space travel, this example demonstrates how reframing our relationship with criticism can unlock incredible potential for innovation and personal growth. The question now is, how can we develop this level of emotional resilience in our own lives? The solution lies in developing what I call the resilience triad, a three-pronged approach to building unshakable emotional strength. The first component is self-awareness, which involves cultivating a deep understanding of our own values, strengths, and areas for growth. This self-knowledge serves as an anchor, allowing us to evaluate criticism objectively rather than taking it as a personal attack. The second prong is emotional regulation, which focuses on developing the ability to manage our immediate emotional responses to criticism. This doesn't mean suppressing emotions, but rather learning to process them in a healthy way that doesn't derail our progress or self-esteem. The final component is growth orientation, which involves cultivating a mindset that sees challenges and criticism as opportunities for learning and improvement rather than threats to our self-worth. This approach is grounded in the latest research from positive psychology and neuroscience. Studies have shown that individuals who practice self-awareness through techniques like mindfulness meditation demonstrate increased activity in the prefrontal cortex, the area of the brain responsible for emotional regulation and decision-making. Similarly, research on emotional intelligence has consistently linked higher EQ with greater resilience and overall life satisfaction. The growth mindset, a key aspect of our third prong, has been extensively studied by psychologists like Carol Dweck, who have demonstrated its positive impact on everything from academic achievement to professional success. By combining these evidence-based strategies, the resilience triad offers a comprehensive framework for developing robust emotional resilience. What sets this solution apart from conventional approaches is its holistic nature and focus on long-term, sustainable change. Unlike quick-fix techniques that offer temporary relief, the resilience triad aims to fundamentally alter how we perceive and respond to criticism. It acknowledges that true resilience isn't about becoming impervious to negative feedback, but about developing the emotional agility to engage with it constructively. This approach also recognizes that resilience is not a fixed trait, but a skill that can be developed over time with consistent practice. By addressing both the cognitive and emotional aspects of handling criticism, the resilience triad provides a comprehensive toolkit for navigating the challenges of personal and professional growth in an increasingly critical world. To implement the resilience triad in your life, start with the self-awareness component by engaging in daily reflection exercises. Spend 10 minutes each evening journaling about your reactions to feedback or criticism you received that day. Identify patterns in your emotional responses and trace them back to core beliefs or past experiences. This practice will help you understand your triggers and develop a more objective view of criticism. Additionally, seek out honest feedback from trusted friends or mentors about your strengths and areas for growth. Compare their perspectives with your self-assessment to gain a more rounded view of yourself. Remember, the goal is not to achieve a perfect self-image, but to develop a realistic and compassionate understanding of who you are. For the emotional regulation aspect, begin by practicing mindfulness meditation for at least 5 minutes daily. This will strengthen your ability to observe your thoughts and emotions without being overwhelmed by them. When faced with criticism, implement the stop technique. Stop, take a breath, observe your emotional reaction, and proceed mindfully. This creates a crucial pause between receiving feedback and responding to it, allowing you to choose your reaction rather than acting on impulse. Additionally, develop a criticism cool-down routine, a set of activities you can engage in after receiving difficult feedback to help process your emotions healthily. This could include physical exercise, talking to a supportive friend, or engaging in a favorite hobby. To cultivate a growth orientation, start by reframing your language around challenges and setbacks. Instead of saying "I failed," try "I learned." Keep a growth journal where you record challenges you faced and what you've learned from them. Set learning goals alongside performance goals in your personal and professional life. For example, instead of just aiming to give a great presentation, also set a goal to learn 3 new public speaking techniques in the process. Regularly expose yourself to new experiences and ideas that challenge your current perspectives. This could involve reading books outside your usual genres, attending workshops on unfamiliar topics, or engaging in conversations with people who hold different viewpoints. By consistently practicing these techniques over 3 to 6 months, you'll begin to notice a significant shift in your resilience and ability to handle criticism constructively. As you embark on this journey to build emotional resilience, you're likely to encounter several challenges. One common obstacle is the initial discomfort that comes with increased self-awareness. Confronting our own vulnerabilities and insecurities can be uncomfortable, and you may find yourself tempted to avoid this introspection. Another hurdle is the deeply ingrained habit of taking criticism personally. Years of conditioning have taught us to equate feedback with personal worth, and breaking this association takes time and patience. You might also face resistance from others who are accustomed to your old patterns of behavior. As you become more resilient, some may interpret your newfound confidence as arrogance or indifference. To overcome these obstacles, it's crucial to develop a strong support system. Seek out like-minded individuals who are also working on personal growth. This could be through joining a support group, finding an accountability partner, or working with a coach or therapist. Having people who understand and encourage your journey can provide motivation during challenging times. It's also important to practice self-compassion throughout this process. Recognize that building resilience is a skill, and like any skill, it takes time and practice to develop. Be patient with yourself and celebrate small victories along the way. If you find yourself slipping into old patterns, treat it as a learning opportunity rather than a failure. Maintaining motivation during this process of change can be challenging, especially when progress feels slow. One effective strategy is to keep a resilience log where you record instances where you successfully applied your new skills. This provides concrete evidence of your growth and can be a powerful motivator during tough times. Set small, achievable milestones along your journey and reward yourself when you reach them. These could be as simple as successfully implementing the STOP technique 3 times in a week or having a constructive conversation about critical feedback without becoming defensive. Remember, the goal is progress, not perfection. By focusing on continuous improvement rather than an idealized end state, you'll be better equipped to handle setbacks and stay committed to your personal growth journey. Imagine waking up each morning with a sense of unshakable confidence, knowing that whatever challenges the day brings, you have the emotional tools to handle them gracefully. As you go about your day, you notice a significant shift in how you perceive feedback. What once felt like personal attacks now register as valuable data points, opportunities for growth and refinement. In meetings, you find yourself actively seeking out diverse perspectives, even those that challenge your ideas, because you recognize the potential for innovation that lies in constructive disagreement. Your colleagues start to notice this change, commenting on your increased openness and the thoughtful way you engage with criticism. This new approach not only enhances your professional reputation but also leads to more meaningful collaborations and breakthrough ideas. In your personal life, you find that relationships have taken on a new depth and authenticity. Conversations with loved ones become more honest and productive as you're able to discuss difficult topics without becoming defensive or withdrawing. You notice a newfound ability to set and maintain healthy boundaries, confidently expressing your needs and values without fear of judgment. This emotional resilience extends to your personal goals as well. You find yourself taking more calculated risks, pursuing passions you once hesitated to explore. Whether it's starting that side business you've always dreamed of, learning a new skill, or putting yourself out there in the dating world, you approach each new venture with a sense of excitement rather than fear. Setbacks still occur, but they no longer derail you. Instead, you view them as valuable learning experiences, quickly adapting and moving forward with renewed determination. Your mental and physical health also reap the benefits of your newfound resilience. The chronic stress that once plagued you, born from a constant fear of criticism, begins to dissipate. You sleep better, your immune system strengthens, and you have more energy to invest in self-care and personal growth. This positive spiral extends to your overall outlook on life. You find yourself more optimistic, not because you expect everything to go perfectly, but because you trust in your ability to handle whatever comes your way. This inner strength becomes a beacon, attracting like-minded individuals and opportunities that align with your authentic self. As you reflect on your journey, you realize that building emotional resilience hasn't just changed how you handle criticism, it's transformed your entire approach to life. You've become more adaptable, more creative, and more in tune with your true potential. The person you see in the mirror is no longer defined by the opinions of others, but by a deep, unshakable sense of self-worth and purpose. This is the power of emotional resilience, not just a shield against criticism, but a catalyst for personal evolution and a key to unlocking a life of authenticity, growth, and fulfillment. Now that you've glimpsed the transformative potential of emotional resilience, it's time to take action. Start right now, in this very moment, by choosing one small step from the action plan we discussed earlier. Perhaps it's setting aside 5 minutes for a mindfulness exercise or jotting down 3 things you appreciate about yourself. The specific action isn't as important as the commitment to begin. Remember, every journey begins with a single step, and the path to emotional resilience is no different. By taking action now, you're already shifting your mindset from passive consumer of information to active creator of your own emotional strength. Consider the cost of inaction. Every day you postpone building your resilience is another day spent vulnerable to the whims of others' opinions, another day of potential growth lost. The harsh reality is that the world won't stop criticizing while you prepare yourself, so why not start building your defenses now? Think about a recent situation where criticism affected you negatively. Now imagine facing a similar scenario a month from now, armed with the tools of emotional resilience. The difference in outcome and your peace of mind could be profound. This isn't about achieving perfection overnight. It's about starting a process that will yield benefits almost immediately and continue to compound over time. To create a sense of urgency without resorting to pressure tactics, let's frame this as an exciting opportunity rather than a daunting task. Think of building emotional resilience as unlocking a superpower, one that will enhance every aspect of your life. Just as you wouldn't delay if offered the chance to fly or become invisible, don't postpone this chance to develop an emotional shield that can protect and empower you. The beauty of this process is that you can start small and still see significant results. Commit to practicing one resilience-building technique for just a week. At the end of that week, take a moment to reflect on any changes you've noticed, no matter how subtle. This immediate feedback loop will fuel your motivation to continue and expand your practice. As you embark on your journey to build emotional resilience, it's important to set realistic expectations and recognize the signs of progress along the way. In the first few weeks, you may notice small but significant changes in your thought patterns. You might catch yourself pausing before reacting to criticism or questioning the validity of negative self-talk. These moments of awareness are the first indicators that you're developing a more resilient mindset. You may also find that you're sleeping better or feeling less anxious in situations that previously caused stress. While these changes might seem subtle, they're laying the groundwork for more substantial transformation. As you progress through the first few months of consistent practice, you'll likely experience more tangible shifts. You might notice that you're able to engage in constructive conversations about your work without feeling defensive. Feedback sessions with bosses or colleagues may become opportunities for growth rather than sources of dread. In your personal life, you might find yourself more willing to try new things or express your authentic self, less hindered by fear of judgment. It's important to celebrate these victories, no matter how small they may seem. Each is a testament to your growing emotional strength and a stepping stone to even greater resilience. However, it's equally important to prepare for setbacks and plateaus in your journey. There may be days or even weeks where you feel like you're sliding back into old patterns. This is normal and doesn't negate the progress you've made. Resilience isn't about never feeling hurt or discouraged, it's about how quickly you can bounce back. When you encounter these challenges, treat them as opportunities to practice your new skills. Reflect on what triggered the setback and how you can approach similar situations differently in the future. Remember, building emotional resilience is not a linear process, it's more like a spiral, where you may revisit old issues but with new perspectives and stronger coping mechanisms each time. By maintaining this growth-oriented mindset, you'll be well-equipped to navigate the ups and downs of your resilience-building journey, emerging stronger and more self-assured with each challenge you overcome. As we draw this journey to a close, let's take a moment to recap the transformative power of emotional resilience. We've explored the devastating impact of unchecked criticism, debunked common myths about handling feedback, and unveiled a comprehensive strategy for building an unshakable emotional foundation. Through the resilience triad of self-awareness, emotional regulation, and growth orientation, you now have the tools to transform criticism from a source of pain into a catalyst for personal evolution. Remember, resilience isn't about becoming impervious to negative feedback, it's about developing the emotional agility to engage with it constructively and emerge stronger. The journey to emotional resilience is not just about shielding yourself from criticism, it's about unlocking your full potential in every aspect of life. By mastering this skill, you're not only protecting your self-esteem but also opening doors to new opportunities, deeper relationships, and a more authentic expression of your true self. Imagine facing each day with unwavering confidence, knowing that no matter what challenges arise, you have the inner strength to not just survive, but thrive. This is the promise of emotional resilience, a life lived on your own terms, unencumbered by the weight of others' judgments. As you step forward from this moment, carry with you this powerful truth. You have within you everything you need to build an impenetrable shield of emotional resilience. Every criticism, every setback, every moment of self-doubt is an opportunity to strengthen this shield. The journey begins now, with the very next breath you take. Will you choose to remain vulnerable to the winds of criticism, or will you embark on the path to unshakable emotional strength? The choice is yours, and the time is now. Your future self, confident, resilient, and thriving, is waiting. Take that first step, and watch as your world transforms around you. Remember, in the face of criticism, you don't just survive, you rise, you grow, you conquer. Now go forth and build your emotional fortress. Your best life is waiting on the other side.